Where are we going? I'm Joseph. This is Input English. The Input English channel is 1 year old. So I thought this would be the ideal time to explore the question, where are we going? Specifically, what I'd like to address today is where we started, how far have we come, and where are we going? It could easily be said that the phase 1 of the Input English channel is complete. People tend to recognize the 1 year timeline. We count our age in years. If you ask someone how old they are, they don't tell you in months or fortnights. They tell you in years. So now that the Input English channel is 1 year old, we can easily say that phase 1 is complete. So where did we start? This channel grew out of my long-term interest in learning. Specifically, I was interested in learning languages. This channel grew out of decades of failure learning languages because I, like most people, got hooked by marketing schemes, false claims, and using traditional methods to try to learn languages. I took 2 years of German in high school. I got good grades. I got good at conjugating verbs, but I couldn't buy groceries when I got to Europe. And my time living in Austria gave me an experience that is key to the formation of this channel. Over the more than 3 months that I lived in Austria, I found that listening to people, listening to lectures, and getting all the input I could from the surrounding environment in that town, my language level improved a lot. I found that the local Austrians were very willing to speak more slowly and to explain what they were trying to communicate when they said things. They made the input that I was receiving more comprehensible. Now, at that time, I didn't know the term comprehensible input. I just knew that the kindness of these people was crucial to my ability to improve my German. My level improved a lot. When I got back to the United States, I looked for videos because I wanted to continue that kind of experience. Again, I didn't know the term of art, comprehensible input. I just wanted easy, interesting German videos that I could watch. Back then, they really didn't exist, or I couldn't find them. So my growth in German ceased. You could say that life showed up. My priorities shifted back to the practical matters of building my career, raising a family, paying bills, and living life. During the pandemic, a lot of us had some time on our hands because the activities that we wanted to do were forbidden for a period of time. And so we had to repurpose that leisure time. I turned to reading. I read great literature. Now this turns out to be very important to this channel because I read dozens of books during the pandemic. None of them were in a foreign language, and none of them were about studying foreign languages, but it got me into this habit of reading every day. It also got me into the habit of repurposing my travel time with audio input because I consumed a lot of audiobooks. The pandemic taught me how to find the time to do things like this. In February of 2023, I was on the computer and an idea flashed into my mind. What does comprehensible input mean? You could say it came out of nowhere, but that wouldn't be correct. It came out of my life experiences of living in Austria, listening to the Austrians, learning a lot of German, and looking for videos in German that I could access. So when I searched the term of art, comprehensible input, I found Stephen Krashen. Lucky for me, he had some videos on YouTube. I watched them. My initial response was, this is too good to be true. He explained that we could learn languages by just understanding the messages in that language. He gave the criteria for good input. It really sounded too good to be true, except for one detail. It matched my experience living in Austria. I think if I had just watched Stephen Krashen's video and understood the claims that he was making, I would have been much less receptive to those ideas. I would have been much less likely to believe him had I not had the experience of building my German up a lot over a short period of time, getting daily input in Austria. My experience in Austria is best described as immersion. It was a little stressful because I was forced to speak, but I was forced to speak a language I didn't know. But all in all, the experience was very positive and very effective. So instead of just judging Stephen Krashen's video on its own merits, I was positioned to compare it with my experience living in Austria. It clicked. It matched. So I was now in a very good position to believe him. This experience of finding Professor Krashen online created a hunger. I wanted more information, and that led me to Steve Kaufman and then Pablo Roman. Since I live in California, one of the best languages that I could learn for practical use would be Spanish. The trouble is, a practical use for something may not provide much motivation. Well, that ingredient was provided to me by my experience during the pandemic of reading a lot of books. One of the books I read during the pandemic was Don Quixote. It was fabulous. It was an outstanding translation by Edith Grossman, but it was in English. And during one of the discussions on YouTube of this book, the suggestion was made that if you really love great Spanish literature, you might just go ahead and learn Spanish so that you could enjoy the literature in its original form. Again, that gave me a glimpse of a possibility that clicked. When I was in Austria, I had learned that I could read simple things in the newspaper or on the television. I was actually reading a little bit of German. Not very much, but enough to get a taste of it, enough to get the thrill. So all of these went together for me to start with comprehensible input. I started with 1 hour a day, but I quickly realized that I could do much more. In a future video, I'm going to talk about strategies for getting a lot of input each day, every day, and these are not going to be the strategies that you expect. So that will be a good video upcoming. Over time, my metric evolved and I ended up with a goal of 4 hours a day, which I sometimes met and sometimes didn't. Some days I got 5 or 6 hours in one day. One of the reasons I could get so much input was the large library of videos available on the Dreaming Spanish site. The other reason I could get so much input each day was because my level of comprehension got high enough that I could move to podcasts. That gave me my commute time as free time for input. All of those experiences suggested to me that everyone should have access to this kind of input. I was particularly taken by input at the intermediate level because at that level, you don't have to draw pictures, you don't have to salt a lot of illustrations into the content, and you can add really rich vocabulary if you add it in context. It was during 2023 that I hatched the plan to build this channel. On August 7th, 2024, the channel published for the first time. I turned on all the videos that I had created. Now, for a new content creator on YouTube, there are a lot of videos that give us advice. One of the pieces of advice given to me in a video was don't publish a channel with one video. There's nothing there. They said publish 3 videos. Different advice suggested maybe starting a channel with 5 videos and then publish once a week. I considered that advice and decided to start the channel with 40 videos. It just seemed like a nice round number. On August 7th, I turned on 40 videos, and when I was done, I counted them, and there were 41. So that's how we started. Since I had been making videos every day, I just continued. I figured for a while, I'll just make 1 video a day. We'll just build the channel up. And that evolved into my metric for phase 1. 1 video a day for 1 year to create 100 hours of input. I figured that I could have a miniature version of the video library that I found on Dreaming Spanish. I wanted a place that people could go, find intermediate level input, and devour it so that they could see a real improvement in their proficiency in English. The channel now has 400 long-form videos. There are a few shorts, but I'm not counting them. I will make some shorts in the future, but they are not the mainstay of this channel. What I see as I watch the channel from my perspective is it is growing and people are going back and watching older videos. Now, when I say older videos, there are no old videos because the whole channel is only 1 year old. All these videos are brand new, but relatively speaking, there are some older videos that are 10 months old. People are watching these videos and the number of views per video continues to grow. So what is phase 2? What am I going to do going from here? Should I just make another 100 hours of content? Well, I could, but I don't see it that way. Having accomplished this phase 1, I would like to publish 3 videos a week so that I can have time during each week to explore new ideas, new techniques, different ways of making content. It takes time to learn new things, and I need to factor that time into this channel. So my current plan for phase 2 is publish 3 days a week to continue producing videos. If people watching this video, if you have ideas for what you would like to see on this channel, I invite that in the comment section. I want to be responsive to the viewership, so I read those comments with great interest. So what about phase 3? Is there a phase 3? Right now, I don't have a very well-developed picture of phase 3, but there is an idea that I'm going to work on. And that is phase 3 is a website. When I started this channel, I acquired the internet domain name inputenglish.com. That is mine. It's also active, but not as a website. it's activated as a link to this channel. So if you were to go into your browser and enter inputenglish.com, it'll bring you to the channel. The reason I acquired that domain name was planning for the future. One of the options I have going forward is to create a website for this channel. At the moment, it's not a high priority, but it easily could become the goal for phase 3. This would be another opportunity to emulate Dreaming Spanish. That channel hosts YouTube-like videos and acts as a shell for their YouTube videos. Now, one of the luxuries I have here is I don't need this channel to be a big moneymaker. This channel was not created for profit motive, and I don't need to pull a salary out of this channel. Because of that, I don't have a Patreon set up. I don't have membership set up. I'm not asking you to buy me a cup of coffee. I'm just trying to create good quality input that people find useful and find helpful. I don't ask for financial support on this channel. I don't have affiliate links, and I don't promote products. On each video, I do invite comments below. In the early videos, I suggested that people subscribe. At this point, I would like help building this channel. If you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed, please do. I'm also hoping that people who find this channel useful will tell other people. Word of mouth is a very powerful way that people learn about resources like this. If you have an opportunity to tell someone about the Input English channel, then please do so. That kind of help would be greatly appreciated. Short of that, you won't find me with my hand out begging for money. So that is a brief overview of how we started, where we've come, and where we're likely to be going. I can't be certain where we're going because none of us can see the future. I am a language learner. I now have over 2,200 hours of input in Spanish, and I am talking in Spanish. I am speaking. I'm going to continue that process. I've not added another language to learn. I'm not trying to be a polyglot, but I would like to improve my German at some point. I invite comments below, and if you like videos like this, be sure to click on this one next. See you soon.